is a community. Is the recording starting now?
Yep,
There's Kathy.
it's up on the screen now.
Great.
Hi,
Okay.
Kathy.
Hey, Kathy.
Hey, Kathy.
This is a Community Preservation Committee meeting, and it is July 7th, 2026. And my name is Ann Mazur. I'm the chair, and I'm also the representative from the Land Use Committee. Why don't we go around and introduce ourselves? Barry?
Barry Adirola, Planning Board Representative.
Mike?
Yeah, Mike Morali, representing the Select Board.
Steve?
Steve Obbett, representing Parks and Recreation.
Kathy?
She's muted.
Yeah, you're muted. Okay, Kathy's here. Are you still representing the Historical Commission?
I am.
You are?
Yeah.
Do you want to be reappointed? that?
Yes, for the
Oh.
short term, yes.
Thank you. Okay, that's really good to know. And then Dan would like to be the alternate person. So can we take a vote on, oh, also this meeting is being recorded. I didn't say that. I didn't put that on the agenda. Can we vote as to who we would want to, represent the alternate position? Do you know, Mike?
You should not take a vote for anything that was not listed on your agenda.
All right.
But I think in that new policy that was passed, even everyone who wants to be reappointed, who's an incumbent, the current policy says that, we have to post everything for a 45-day notice. So I don't know if we've done a blanket posting for all of the open positions or not, but just what we were talking about before, it's just a good idea. Put it on your next
Okay.
agenda, and then please just send an email to Kat to ask to put it on our agenda so we can talk about it, because we may be able to take a vote depending on when it was actually published.
All right. Yeah, Kat said that Dan is the only person that has put in a letter of interest for that alternate spot. So I'll put it on the next agenda.
Is
See.
Frank's
Kathy, did
term-
you-
Is Frank's term up?
That's Land Use Committee. This is
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Kathy,
So
did you get a notice that you asking if you wanted to be reappointed or anything? Did you tell them you wanted to, or?
I probably did. And I have not been in my email for a good long time.
That's okay.
I've been at the tavern.
But you're affirming it now that you want to be reappointed.
Yes.
Right. Okay. If you look in your emails before you log off tonight, if you see it in there, if you could just reply to Kat and say, yes, please.
I will.
Yeah,
Yep.
great.
You got it.
all right, great. So the next item I had on is the Affordable Housing Coordinator, Town Planner, and she could not make it tonight. So we're going to put her on the August agenda or the September agenda. And did you have a chance to look at the meeting minutes to vote on that? And even if you weren't here, you can vote on it as long as we have a quorum. I checked that with Ellen.
Mhm.
Because she
I'll make
said
a
like
motion to accept the minutes as written.
second.
Second.
Any discussion?
Look good to
Okay.
me.
All those in favor?
Adirola, aye.
Hi.
Kathy?
Schofield, aye.
Mike?
Sure. Aye.
Mazar, aye. Okay. So when the town purchased the Paddock property, we set aside CPA administrative funds for the closing. We set aside $35,000, and the property has closed. And so what I'd like to do is take the leftover money and put that back into the CPA general fund. And it's around $14,000. So would someone like to make a motion and then we can discuss it? Is there any discussion?
I'll make a motion to redeposit the balance of the paddock property funds back into the proper account.
Second.
Second? Okay. Any discussion on that? All right, that's easy. All those in favor? Barry?
Aye.
Stephen?
Schofield, aye.
Morale, aye.
Mazer, aye. Okay. Then the next item is the title exam for 32 Pleasant Street. And at the last meeting, we discussed it. It would cost around $7,500 to, well, first of all, this property does not have clear title. And it's 10 acres and it's on Pleasant Street. And it's a connection from the town forest to Pleasant Street. And Pleasant Street connects to another town property, Meadowbrook Uplands. And then the trail connects to the town forest, and then that connects to Meadowbrook Woods. So it's a really nice like trail system. And so we've been working to try to clear the title. We had some land use committee money set aside, but it's really tangled. And so town council says it'll cost around $7,500 to do the title. And if they can find the heirs, notify the heirs and ask if they want to pay the taxes, which are over $150,000 to keep the property. And then if not, we have to go through this tax taking process. And so anyway, so Mike Amendalia, I mean, the discussion was that that's a really cheap price to get 10 acres, and Mike said, well, part of it's wet. We should walk it. So Kathy and I walked it on June 4th, I think. And there is a wet section, but it's a beautiful property, and just to preserve it, period. But also, if we decided to make a trail link in the future, it would probably require like a boardwalk through it. And I can show you some pictures. I'll share my screen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see it. But
Okay.
right now it's the Teams meeting.
Okay.
There you go.
Here it is.
So this is sort of the entrance to the property. There we go. That.
And this is on Pleasant Street.
It's on Pleasant Street, yeah.
Okay.
And it just trying to see, get it bigger. Okay. So this is sort of the entrance from the road, and it's on Pleasant Street. And if you walk down Pleasant Street, you could get to Meadowbrook Uplands, which would take you to Lake Nipmunk. And then going in the other direction, it goes to the town forest, which goes to the town forest, and then it leads to Cormier Woods and Meadowbrook Woods. So it'd be a really nice trail system. And
Are there any existing trails on it, or is it kind of just raw land at this point?
it's pretty raw land. There's like some deer trails you can see on this picture here. And there's a stone wall that goes through it on one side.
Nice.
And just a picture of another part of the property. A lot of ferns. It was getting wet. Kathy found some pretty irises. And that's sort of like a picture of like where it gets wetter. So what
You have a picture of the lot? That's a thin strip you're talking about that would tie one piece into the other.
Yeah, so the town forest is on Asylum Street, and then about 20 years ago, someone donated this kind of strip of land to the town, which the town took. And this lot is a strip from that donated land to the Pleasant Street. So it's a long strip. I can find it on a map. I don't have it handy, but I can show you on GIS. Do you want me to do that?
Yeah, that way we can see what you're talking about as far
Yeah,
as.
let's see if are you looking at, because I'm looking for the assessors here. Maybe I can pull it up on there.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do.
From there,
I didn't. Yep. If you get it before me, then let me know.
What's the,
32 Pleasant Street. Okay, I almost have it here.
you got it? Maybe you're quicker at it.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. Yeah, I can kind of show you. Okay, wait now.
Great.
I got to go back to everybody. Okay, I'm going to share the screen again because you don't see
Okay.
my screen now, right?
Nope.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can
Yes.
see your screen, and right now it's kind
All
of
right.
blank, but it's up there.
Yeah, see, I just have to get to the map.
Okay.
Here's the
Okay.
map.
Oh, great.
So,
Yeah, that's perfect.
all right. So this is Meadowbrook Uplands, and that's Lake Nipmuc up here. And this leads to Pleasant Street. You can see the green, and then you come
Oh,
down
yeah.
here, and 32 Pleasant Street is right here. And you can see it's wet here. And goes here, and then it goes on this funny shaped piece here that connects to the town forest. And then the town forest ends here, and we have a trail easement to Asylum Street. The Brewers generously gave that to the town, and it connects to Asylum Street, which is a really beautiful road, and it's really easy to cross. And then it takes you on either Cormier Woods or Meadowbrook Woods, and there's an Inman Pond right there. So it's a real loop around. So it's kind of a critical piece because it connects everything. And even if it's just preserved, because, you've got people that live on either side of it, and, it could prevent encroachment, and, it could be preserved.
So it's actually the lot that's 20-204-27.
Is
that
it?
correct?
Wait, let me see right here. It's this one. It's the 32.
20432.
This one right here. There's not really a number on it. I can make it larger. Maybe a number will come up, but
So it doesn't tie in.
it's,
Yeah, there it is.
yeah, right here. So Pleasant Street's here, and then the town lands right here. So what's your question, Barry?
So it's not, doesn't tie into that piece across the street, or it does? Across
Not
Pleasant Street.
directly, but what you could do is you can walk down this little bit of Pleasant Street, which is very pleasant, as I said last time. It's really pretty. And then it hooks in to the other piece through here.
Well,
And that's
we're getting,
go ahead.
we're getting ahead of ourselves anyways, right? Because
Yeah.
they have first right of refusal to pay the taxes. Have we already started that process of starting the
We're
tax
like,
title and take it?
yeah, we have, but as I said, town council said that it's very tangled.
Yeah.
And it would take $7,500 at least. I mean, they that's the estimate, and it might be less, might be a little more, but to do that and go through the whole process, and then if it all works out, the town could own it. And the people would have to pay back taxes of over like $150,000 plus dollars. And the heirs, the last time taxes were paid were in 1980. So there's a
my
very,
gosh.
very good chance, yeah, that the town could have the property. But we obviously have to go through the correct process to make sure that if anyone claims it or whatever, then
Yeah,
you have to advertise it.
I think it's a good idea to spend the money to get clear title and get that sorted out, because we've still got other pieces, up off of North Ave and different places that we don't know who the owner is, because we never went through this process. And one of them's been 35 years now.
Wow.
And it's just it's not good stewardship.
Well, this is the
we have
same
to-
thing with
Yeah,
this
I know it is.
property,
That's
40
why
years, yeah.
I think, Barry, do you agree?
I was just questioning the aspect of spending $7,500 and not the possibility of not getting anything out of it.
Well, I mean, what you could get out of it is if the owner says, yes, I want it, I'll pay back taxes, then the town would get like $150,000 of taxes. So, I mean, either way it goes, it would be beneficial.
Yeah, it seems like a worthwhile gamble either way. It's like you can't lose almost.
And
and
people don't want, oh, sorry, Mike, go on.
I was just going to say, and if community preservation as a group votes not to, the board, the select board will probably, fund it some other way, because it needs to get and the current board's opinion is all of these types of issues we should never, in other words, it's been since 1980, since they paid, if we had gotten on that right away within a year or two, we wouldn't be here now. Would have been much easier and we would have been able to clear the title up much sooner. So
Well,
one way or the other, whether it's this pocket or another, I think we need to spend the
if the
money.
select board feels they're gonna spend that kind of money, I'd rather take it out of CPC funds and save the general fund for more pressing needs.
That was
Yeah, that
my
makes sense.
thinking
Right.
too. Absolutely,
Yeah.
Gary, you're right on track.
And the reason that towns don't like to go through this whole process is that it's a pain. I've been working on this for like 3 years and then it kind of stalls. And this title is so,
Well, that's
messed
the
up.
point. You may not unravel the ownership and be able to claim somebody. I mean, I would assume that'd be part of the town records as to who the previous bill was going to.
oh, the previous bill was going to Silas Taft. And then it went to John Merrick, I think his name was. And but the thing is if you can't find it, that's when you put an ad in the paper and you say, any heirs of Silas Taft, do you want to claim this property? And you have to do that for like a year. And then if no one answers, then then the town can go through the process to take the property. So
I
it's,
also know that the laws were changed in the last few years to make the process, once you do get clear title, to be much easier, so the towns can recoup, because there's a lot of lost tax revenue, in here. So I know there are some things that have happened and made it more lucrative for the town to collect it now than it used to. So it makes a lot of sense.
so would someone like to make a motion on, and I don't know, like, if we should say $8,000 versus 7,500 in case it is more, and then if it's less, obviously the money would go back into the account.
But just make it up to that amount, right?
Yep. Would
But
someone
should we
like,
go with 8,000 or the 7,500? I think the going higher is a little bit better, so we don't have to come back to this if it comes into 7,600, right?
Right.
We don't have to, if we do what Mike says and go to a limit, then we're probably better off.
so would someone like to make that motion, Kathy or someone?
So
I move, go ahead.
Okay,
So what are we moving? Up to 8,000 or 7,500?
up to 8,000.
Okay,
Second.
second.
okay. Any more discussion? All right, all those in favor,
Ida roller aye.
Mike,
Yeah, Morale, aye.
Steve,
Hobbit, aye.
Schofield, aye.
Mazer, aye. Okay,
I mean,
And-
with what Mike said about the selectmen finding a way to fund it, that changed my mind, so.
Thank you, Mike.
Well, just don't thank me. I'm just,
No, I mean, it's just the
we're
fact
all
of that
about,
we don't
we're-
want to take it out of general fund. We need, I mean, based on the
100%.
override discussions last year and everything else, and everybody scrambling, trying to find money,
right.
so. All right,
And I really don't have anything else unless someone else that, I think I
Well-
got everything on the agenda.
If I can just, as a related note, if you are aware of any other parcels that are sitting out there, please provide a list to Jeremy, because we really want to get all of this cleaned up. You notice there's been a lot more in free cash the last couple of years. It's because of these efforts. I mean, we had all these solar pilot programs, payment in lieu of taxes. And when it had changed hands so many times, they were previous people were having trouble finding who to pay. But, we kind of made it a priority, and it was like a windfall. So, you know, I'm not sure we would get the cash back in this case, you know, if Silas Taft's descendants don't want to pay it, but I still think we need to we can make another decision if we want to take it and keep it or sell it or whatever, but I think that this is the good first step.
It's, well, the one thing though, if we do use CPA funds towards the project, if the town decided to sell it, they would
Right.
have to have it be affordable housing or open space, you know what I mean? It would be
Yeah.
restricted, so.
Yeah.
But
But does it even have enough frontage to even be a buildable lot anyways?
I don't know if it's,
Without a variance?
yeah,
It
I'm not
looked like
sure.
it was 300 feet in that last map,
Yeah.
from what I recall.
Oh, so that,
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
it's
think-
pretty good size.
so that's enough then, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
enough. It might be wet. But,
Depends on how much
Yeah.
upland there is.
Yeah, exactly.
mhm,
But either way, this is a good first step, you know?
mhm.
If
And,
nobody else has anything else, motion
well-
adjourned.
Okay, I was just gonna say Isabella, and I are putting together the, like, open space, you know, in the town and, you know, what might be unclear title. So I just wanna, all right, so Barry, is there a second on adjourning the meeting?
Second,
All right, all those in favor?
Ida roller eye.
Raleigh, aye.
Hobbit eye.
Schofield, I.
May's all right. Thank you. If anybody has agenda items for next month, let me know, okay? Ahead of time, but
Sounds good.
All right,
All
thank
right.
you.
enjoy the
Night.
summer. Bye-bye.
right,
You
bye.
too. Bye.
You too.